live.
What's up, guys? This is the Beyond Celebrity Show with your host, Cesar Pena. And we got our co-host, Mr. Miguel Sanchez. Say what's up, Miguel? Producer. But we got our special guest. Everybody? We got our special guest, Mr. Matty Pop. He's from the UK. He's been doing this. How long you been doing this, Matty?
So I started in 1999. So what's that? 21 years?
Oh 21 years. That's a long time, Matty. That's a
long time.
But that's amazing. So Matty Pop, he's met everybody. I'm talking, yeah. I know your list goes on and on and on. So what got you into meeting celebrities, Matty?
Do you know what? So I'd always been one of these people who would watch TV and think these people are untouchable. These people, are not even human. You're admiring these people on TV. And when I was at school still at the time, I got into a studio audience, which was big over in the UK at the time, called SMTV. I don't know if I don't think you would have heard of it. And it was basically a morning TV show. Presenters, they'd have bands performing, they'd do sketches, etc. So I got in the audience, and it was one of my favorite UK bands. Again, Americans probably won't know it, called S Club 7. And I was in awe of seeing them performing, sound check, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't have a camera, I didn't have an autograph book, nothing, because I didn't understand it. And I found out they were at a studio the following week. I went down there, met them, and then I was like, right, it's clearly this easy. So that's where it started, pretty much.
Wow. So I've seen in a lot of your posts, you met so many people. Let's say right now, one of the first person I want to talk about, because it's her birthday, Lady Gaga, right?
Okay, so, you saw my post, right?
I saw your post today. And it's her birthday. It's her birthday. So what's your encounter with Lady Gaga? Like, when you had to rank her, let's say in your top 10, where does she fall in, and how is she with you and other fans when you've been around her?
So she's my favorite female artist. So she's easy in my top 5 of favorite artists. So I first met her before her first album was even released.
Oh
my friend said there's this woman coming to the UK, her name's called Lady Gaga, and I was like, what? No songs had been dropped at this point. She come to the UK, and my friend said, oh, she wanted to meet her, can I go with her? So I was like, yeah, I'll come with you. And she come out and she chatted to us, and at this time, so it was me, my friend, and one paparazzi outside. That was it. And because no one knew who she was, she was walking down the street, nobody cared. And then I saw her at shows. She was a support act for a lot of artists, so she wasn't even the headline act. And
wow.
I'd go and see her, and she would always point me out, recognize me, because I was the only fan for her at the show. And then now at hotel, that it's ridiculous. Now I'm sure it's the same over there. There's hundreds of fans, paparazzis. It's nuts for her in the UK.
So when she first started,
she recognizes my face, but she doesn't know my name, but she recognizes me.
So when she first started in New York, I'm talking about she's starting to get bigger and bigger. She was so difficult to even take video or pictures of. Her security was so bad that it was just, and it wasn't her, right? Because she looked like she wanted to take pictures and stuff, but security was so bad and wanted to break cameras and things like that. It was so crazy for like, I want to say 2-3 years, until it turned and she got rid of a couple of bad apples in her security team. And I'm mad because I did my top 20 on my podcast, and I didn't put her in it, right? And I was mad at myself because I know.
Naughty.
I know. And the thing is, I was thinking about you, Matty, but I was thinking about other guys. I was coming after me. I got like a bunch of letters like, Caesar, what happened to Gaga? So Gaga, like after those first 3 years, Gaga's become one of the greatest I've seen out there, like taking pictures with everybody,
Yeah.
making sure her monsters are good, you know.
I
Yeah,
mean, so back in the day, she you're right. She went through a stage. So she's been through stages where she would be nice to everybody, and then a couple of years didn't want to see anybody.
everybody up.
But I always got to her. So
Wow.
I was one of the only people who, I'd seen her places when no one knew she was at, and she had to walk past me, and she
Yes.
had to stop.
Okay.
But there was a trip in the UK a few years ago, and she came out. She was using the garage every day at the hotel, but when she did come out, she wasn't doing any autographs, no selfies. She was walking along, not speaking, but just putting her hand like this, but no selfies. And then I found out she was doing a pre-record at a radio station. I went to that radio, and me and two other people got pictures, and then she flew back to the States. But she was very strange, and she's been through a lot of different security. Her
Yeah.
security now have been with her for quite a few years. Pete, who I'm sure you know, the
For
bald
sure,
guy.
for sure. The great guy, great guy.
Yeah, and he knows, he looks after her, and he knows if she wants to stop, she'll stop.
Yeah,
And if it's safe for her, she'll stop.
yeah.
But yeah, she's nice. It's just it's crazy because she uses the same hotel in London. I'm not going to obviously put the name on here, but
No, no, definitely
she
not.
uses the same. Yeah, uses the same hotel every visit. So it's just everyone knows she's there now. You could Google it and people will find out where it is.
Wow, wow. So Maddie, we've been doing this for about almost 2 weeks now with the show,
Yeah.
and one of the major things we've been doing is, especially people that have been in the business for a while, such as yourself, if you needed to, like, if you had to talk to yourself back in the day, and you're so experienced now, what advice would you give the younger version of yourself?
That's interesting. Everyone's human, and I've been through stages, especially at the beginning, where I was so starstruck, and these people were here, and I'm having these conversations with people, and I'd be like, hysterical. And that's why now I've made friends with so many people, fans, photographers, music artists, record labels, everything, as I'm sure you have. And they talk to me. We don't just talk about celebrities, we talk about life, everything.
Yes.
We just have chats with them. So it's just treat everyone the same and know that people are human at the end of the day.
Yeah. So I seen a lot of especially Harry Styles pictures with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of directioners on this. Let them know, like, when did you realize that these guys are going to be big? One, right? And when was the first time you actually ran into One Direction?
So, One Direction. So X Factor was, and I know you have it over there as well, was a huge. It's not so big over here anymore. It's sort of died down, but back in the day, it was huge. So I was a X Factor fan. So
Okay.
I would make sure I would get the pictures with all the contestants while they're on the X Factor, in case they do blow up.
Yes.
So I can say, okay, so I've got them, out the way.
Get that out of the way.
Yeah, so I used to go down the X Factor studio, which One Direction were on. So I met them week one of the live show.
Wow.
And then I used to meet them at studio. I used to meet them at the rehearsal studios for X Factor during the week, which they used to rehearse in a gym,
Wow.
in the middle of town. And I just got, I became really friendly with them. I think I'm probably the only person I've got loads of group photos with them, but from back in the day, which I didn't pay for. I've never paid for.
Yeah.
So yeah, and every time they saw me, because I was the only guy as well, it's
Yeah.
all girls going to see them.
Yeah.
So they always chat to me. There's, they didn't have security back then, but their head of security, Paul, who I'm sure,
For sure.
you guys know.
Yeah.
So I've known Paul before One Direction. So
Wow.
he's been in the music for years and years with an Irish band who are quite big in the UK. So I've known Paul a long time, and I know Preston, who used to be one of 1D's security as well. So I was there before they were working with 1D. Like
Wow.
1D didn't have anybody. They didn't have drivers. They didn't have. So I used to see them all the time. Even now when I see them, they always talk to me. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in ages. But it's so mental. Not for all of them, but Harry is just ridiculous. It's another level of, it's hard to get near him now or even see him.
Really? How long has been since you've seen him?
Oh, only a couple of weeks, but so it hasn't been that long.
Manny.
But it hasn't been that long. But it is hard because he is, he walks around London like, it's his home, and he actually lives about 15 minutes from me, so
really,
he doesn't live too far from me. Yeah.
Man, his last trip here, it was a little difficult. It looked like he really didn't want to actually see people. So I got a good sense, not only with Harry, but a lot of celebrities, when they feel like they really don't want to be bothered, I usually just back off.
Yeah.
Because what do you want to get from them if they're not feeling it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, Harry particular, I wanted to get him just to talk to him, and just say, what's going on, like have a casual conversation with him, because I haven't had a conversation with him for a couple of years.
Does he use garage at hotels in New York?
He does.
Does he? Okay.
But he walked. I just missed him walking into another hotel a couple weeks ago when he was here promoting, and he walked, and I was driving off, so I didn't want to stop the car and run out of the car and talk to him, So after he came out for a run, he just took off running, and I was like, I just didn't want to bother him. But definitely he's one of my favorites from the group. Liam, I have a good relationship with Liam now. Before it was a little iffy, but he understood the power of the camera. Once I have that video camera, he was like, whatever, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But the boys has been amazing, especially in New York. I was the only cameraman to cover them the whole time in New York. So yeah. But with you guys, what's like now, is Harry the only one that you usually see in the UK, or you see most of the boys out?
No, I see all of them.
Yeah.
But Harry's the hardest one out of them.
For sure.
So everything he does is nothing is live. So if he's doing a radio station, it won't be live. If he's doing a photo shoot, it won't be. So everything is on the download, very secret. So it's just finding out what he's, what's going on.
No, I get it. And he did that a lot in New York, especially this past, but he did one thing live that he was actually there, but the police presence, was unbelievable. Like it was like 50 cop cars. It was crazy. Like I was
really?
like it's Harry. Like there was only 50 fans. It wasn't that crazy for fans, but still they think in one direction. So they was going over the top. They were doing over the top stuff for him,
That's the one good thing about over here is, because I've seen a lot of obviously your videos and other fan videos, etc. And I've noticed in America it's very police orientated with celebrities. Over here it's not like that at all. So really? I don't think I've ever been anywhere where there's been police ever.
Wow.
Never. So the only security would be the security for the radio station or security, which would be a couple guys. So a few weeks ago, Harry was on a radio show and there was probably about 300 fans outside. And he came out and he saw every single person. He went down the line. This was a couple of weeks ago. Wow. Went down the line. And as long as it's safe for him, he'll do it.
And do you think that's because Americans are crazier? Like, how is that, not to have any security for 300 people?
So he had his bodyguard and two security from the building. I think everyone's behind a barrier, like a barricade thing. I know the 1D fans are crazy. It doesn't matter where they are. So I don't know. I think he recognizes and knows a lot of the UK fans. So he knows they're not going to grab him, and they just want a selfie or a graph.
Yeah, I haven't seen him do that in America for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as just standing there and taking pictures with a nice amount of people. I've seen it with like 2 or 3 people every now and then, but I'm talking about like 10 people, 15 people. And it's light in New York, like 10, 15 people is not bad, but it just, I don't know. They go over the top for him over here. And it's really not that serious over here. Like for real. And I saw it on day 3. I was just like, Maddie, I was just like, you know what? I'm not with this. And he was here for like 6 days. By the middle of it, I was like, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it.
You're done. Yeah. So he done a radio station. I can't remember if it was in December or November. It was the end of last year, and a few fans camped out for it. I knew about it, but I thought it was pre-recorded, so I thought it wasn't live. And then I rang one of my Pap friends, and I said, "Oh, what's going on?" And he was like, "Harry's about to arrive." And I was like, "Oh my!" I rushed down there. I was like, "I thought it was pre-recorded." Anyway, I got down there, and it was about 400 people, and he came out and saw every single person.
Oh my God!
And that was only December, November.
Wow.
Yeah,
I miss those days. I used to love the hunt because it used to just be me and this other company called remember Stupid Famous People? Remember those guys?
Yeah, is that still a thing? Yeah.
It's not
Are they still around?
It's not they're not around no more like that. But they were like it was like my evil twin brother, you know what I'm saying? Because they used to just talk mad garbage, but they used to get all the videos that I couldn't get. Like I used to go to sleep and then they'll get like Harry and them going out. And I used to be somewhere else. They'll get like Liam, and then I'll get Harry. Like it was so opposite. But I remember them. They were crazy. But I used to get all the great like footage of Niall and all the guys because I was asking them cool questions, and these guys were asking them like real dirt.
Yeah, gossip questions. Yeah.
But yeah, those were the days though. But the craziest thing that ever happened it was me and Harry, Boston. They was doing the stadium tour in Boston, and I took 5 fans. I took 5 fans with me. One was 18, the other one was 19, and then I took a couple of smaller fans. But I knew their parents and everything like that, and they had to sign. It was like a school trip. They had to sign like a consignment thing, like that I'm going to be the guardian. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But I went into it because I wanted to see how it is to be a fan leaving New York and going somewhere else. And it wasn't even through like being a pack. I wanted to feel what the fans feel. So
what's Zayn like in New York?
No good.
Okay.
He's just not around, right? He loves to come out like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. But if you get to see him though, he's still nice. He's real nice.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. He's been cool. But
so I saw him last about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I blagged myself into a meet and greet for free.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't on no list, but I had a private meet and greet with him and everything.
Wow. So you made up a meet and greet.
So how do you do stuff like that? I'm sure our fans would love to hear that.
Helps being a guy.
So
so I got in. It was cool.
So with the trip to Boston, I literally started being one of the fans, right? And I went on. We went to look for Harry, and we had a guide. We had somebody in Boston to kind of do the whole guide thing, like, yo, they like to stay here and there. So randomly, we ran into Harry. Harry looked at me. We went to the Four Seasons, and we didn't know nothing about Four Seasons Boston. he was eating in the front. I was walking around and he was eating in the front. So he made eye contact with me and he was looking at me like, what are you doing here? You know? And I was just like, and we followed him afterwards. It was about 5 cars following him and they pulled over and it was like, listen, Harry's going to stop for all you guys. He just want to take a walk in the park and then he's going to come back. So he took a walk in the park for 45 minutes. And I was just like, he's not coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like, who walks in the park? And, you know, I was like, what is he doing in the park? You know, so he walked in the park, came back to us, and we just stood there with him for like almost an hour talking to him. And he was like, yo, Caesar, you're not going to do video? And I was like, nah, you know, this is for the fans. I'm here with the fans. And he looked at me. He was like, wow, this is pretty cool, you know? And we took pictures with him and stuff like that. I took a picture with him and we went to the sold out concert. And what was awkward about the sold out concert, he noticed me. We was in the front row and he noticed me in the front row and he looked at me and he was just like he's pointing at me like this. Everybody, like all the fans around me was looking right at me, right? The only grown man in the crowd, right? All girls. And I'm looking at him. I'm like back away, like don't point me out, like don't. I'm like, get away. All right, Harry, like get out of here, man. You know, so yeah, I mean, he's the best. You know, One Direction at the time, like I used to love being around the guys. The energy was crazy. I've
never seen anything like it. One Direction, I've never seen anything like it with fans, or I'd been to the airport for them and they would use this private entrance where no one could get to, but they used to. It was a private entrance just for royals, MPs, members of parliament and all of that. But they used to just walk out of this entrance and still meet people, the fans that were waiting. You know, I've never had a problem with any of them. I've been really lucky.
So Maddie, what was the craziest, like the craziest story you ever had with a celebrity, and you look back and you was like, wow, like that was amazing, like the most amazing moment with any celebrity out there, but you was like, wow, your wow moment?
One I will, I've got a couple. One I will talk about is will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas. So I first met Black Eyed Peas when Where Is the Love was being released. So whenever that was around 9/11, I think.
Okay.
I think that's around the time that they released it. And I met as a fan, and I just ended up becoming friends with will.i.am. And, I'd go to the hotel and I'd be outside chatting to him about everything for 2 hours nonstop, just chatting. And he got me into, the first time he got me into their sold out show, arena show, he got me backstage. VIP passes, and I couldn't get into the backstage bit, and the guy was like, you need someone from the crew to take you. And will.i.am was walking off the stage at the time, and Will was like, no, bring him down. So we went backstage and I was having drinks with him. Do you know Duran? Are they a thing over there?
Yeah. We that age.
Okay, so they were backstage as well, and Will paid for a car for me to get home because I couldn't get home. Like we've exchanged numbers, so we message all the time. And yeah, so for me that was a few years ago, but he always looks out for me.
Wow.
So, yeah, he's a good guy.
Besides him
being on stage with Lady Gaga pulled me on stage at the O2, which is probably equivalent to Madison Square Gardens.
Yeah.
So she pulled me on stage with her to dance with her at her art pop show, which was in 2014, which I still can't get over. So yeah, no, there's been a few good moments.
That's what I'm talking about. Miguel, you got any questions?
So right now there's no fan questions, but you kind of answered. I was always wanting to try to figure out what's the difference between American fans and and UK fans. Like the fact that you said that there's less police, that's pretty interesting. That means they're more well behaved. But is UK kind of like the LA of Europe, or is there like another celebrity hotspot?
No, London's the place. You know, you can see them walking around. I mean, I've been to New York and a few times, and I've been to LA, and I've met some celebrities in New York. But obviously I didn't know where I was going. So last time I was there was year before last. I think it was the year before last. And New Kids on the Block were on is it the Today Show?
Today Show, yeah.
By Rockefeller?
Yep, Today Show.
So I went down there and I had tickets and I'd never seen anything like it. I got there at like 6 a.m. Fans, hundreds. I'd never seen, and I couldn't get into the studio bit to see them. And I've never seen anything like, you wouldn't get it like that over here. Like you get a lot of people out. You know, for me, if I say something is busy, I would say, you know, if there's 10, 20 people, I'd say, oh, this is busy for whoever we're waiting for. But the only time we see a large amount of people is for 1D or Hollywood actors at the hotel. You know, you get a lot of dealers, as I'm sure you do over there as well. But yeah, it's all right over here.
Yeah. It sounds like it. It sounds like it.
No. One story I will tell you. Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead, finish. I'll ask after.
I was gonna say one thing I am proud of, or something, an autograph I've got, and someone I met was Michael Jackson when he was here.
Wow.
And I went to his hotel, and even for him, there was probably only about 50, 60 people. Everyone just wanted to grab him and touch him, and I was the only person who had something for him to sign. And he signed my album, which I've still got. And that was when he was going to announce his residency at the O2. So that was the day he was doing his public announcement.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And what about paparazzi, Caesar? Is the because I remember when we were in LA and there's like 50 paparazzi on the street for one celebrity. How is it in London and Europe and stuff like that? How's it as bad?
So there's a lot of paps in London, but you have the daytime paps and the nighttime paps. You know, you could go to somewhere, you know, a radio station, and there might only be 4 or 5 paps. But then if there's nothing going on, you know, the other last week or the week before last, Rita Ora was doing a pre-record at a radio station, and because there was nobody else in London and nobody else worth photographing, about 8 paps followed her from her home. So there ended up being 10 paps, which you may not think is a lot, but yeah, there was about 10 paps on Rita Ora a couple of weeks ago. So It just depends who it is, really.
Yeah.
So, okay, I got another good question. Who do you think is the up and coming person, the next up out of UK or Europe in general?
Okay,
that is.
This is my chance to plug someone who I'm a huge fan of.
Can I guess? Can I guess one?
Okay, go on.
Lewis Capaldi.
No.
Okay. All right.
But you're close. You're close. You're close.
Go ahead, Maddie.
Okay. Sam Fender.
Never heard of him. Wow.
So he does shows in America a lot. He performed at Elton John's Oscar party a few weeks ago. At Elton John's party, is it the Oscars or some awards? I think it was the Oscars.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, Elton John flew him over to perform at his party.
Wow.
His album came out over here last summer, and it went straight to #1. He won the Brit Award, which is like your Grammys.
Yes.
He won a Brit Award over here for a Critics' Choice Award, which is basically Best New Artist.
Wow.
So give him a listen. I've seen him perform loads. He's one of the nicest people you can meet.
How many times you met him so far?
A lot. I've made friends with um, with him, his manager, his record prep people, everyone. So
Oh, you friends with them? You guys are
yeah,
real cool.
yeah. Just from being a fan as well. Just from being a fan.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So they
Miguel,
look after us.
Miguel, put his name down under the thing on the one watch list. We got a watch list going on right now. So,
all right. So what was it again? How do you spell it? What was this? What was it called? What was it?
So Sam, so SAM.
Uh-huh.
And his surname is Fender, Fender.
And he does pop music, or
no, well, he's sort of an indie singer, but
okay.
he's very much into the. If you listen to some songs are indie pop-ish.
Okay.
He's very. I mean, yeah, he's one of my favorite artists at the minute, and he recently covered an Amy Winehouse track, which is online. So give that a listen.
I will. I'm gonna trust you, Maddie. Maddie, you've been in the business so long. I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust you on this.
So that goes on another question I have for you, Maddie. Is what is your like goal in doing this celebrity entertainment thing? Like what is your like? Is this how you earn a living, or is this just a hobby? How do you balance work life, and is this your work too?
Yeah, no, it's a hobby. So I do everything around work. So my days off, but I wouldn't just go to a radio station on the hope to see someone. I always know where I'm going and who I'm going to see. You know, so yeah, it's a hobby that I do around work.
Okay. And would you have any aspirations to do anything like interviews or anything, or you just like being around celebrities? What would be your goal in the entertainment business?
Do you know, when I was younger, I'd always wanted to work at a label, or do tour managing, something like that. But I've never really pursued it, really. I mean, if you get to interview people in the UK, get me to do it, I'll do it for you.
Yeah. That's the next step, Maddie.
We got it right here. You heard it here first.
I know, Maddie.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You got it, Maddie. Like, you got the charisma. you got that it thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bet you celebrities are real comfortable around you. You know what I'm saying, Maddie? So you got
completely.
Yeah. So right now, while we building this up, we got our eyes on a lot of people that has potential to be like how we're doing it here, being across the sea, UK, and being, like we got another guy in Chicago that he's a huge Rihanna fan. Nick, his name is Nick, and he's
Rihanna's a funny one.
Yeah, especially in the UK, right? She's pretty hard.
Yeah, now she is. So I first met Rihanna on her first ever trip when she was 16. She was 16.
No way.
I got a picture with her. I'll dig it out and I'll find it and I'll send it to you.
Yes, please. Please. Oh my.
Yeah. I mean, she's a funny one as well. So sometimes now it's impossible.
Yeah. See that.
She's impossible over here now. Which is a shame because she lived here, and
but wow.
I've seen her one-on-one, and she was like, no.
Really?
Which is a shame. Yeah. She's very difficult. The paps go out for her, but fans have stopped going out for her now.
Wow.
She used to have a group of about 6 fans who she used to know over here, and they don't even go and see her anymore.
Really?
Yeah. Because I see how cool she is with you, and I'm like,
yeah,
Caesar needs to hook me up. Right?
I know. Who else is like the difficult one, like everywhere else besides Harry, of course, but like difficult everywhere else? You've seen like no pictures with this person, but over there, it's pretty easy to get them.
I don't know. I've got pretty much everyone. So, I mean, do you know anyone who's hard over there?
So off the top of my head, she with the big voice, that she got real skinny now.
Who?
Oh man, it's killing me. She sang
Okay.
the 007 song a couple years ago and won the
Adele.
Adele. How is Adele there?
Okay. So
I wanted to know this.
so let me. Have we got time for a quick Adele story?
Let me see. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
So when her first album come out, the
Yeah.
19 album, before she got huge, I was in a club with my friend and Adele was there with her friends partying.
Okay.
And I didn't know who she was. And my friend was like, oh my God, that's that singer Adele. So I got a picture with her. She looks hammered in the picture.
Okay.
Like
Oh, yeah.
and then I've been really lucky with her. She doesn't like perhaps outside of her promoting, but
Okay.
every time I've seen her, I've got, and she's been lovely to me.
Really?
Last time I saw her was 2015 when she released Hello.
So that's the last time you saw her?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was so she was doing it was unannounced. She was announced doing promotion for her album, and they didn't announce she was there. And she came, yeah, I had pictures. She signed, my stuff for me and bits and pieces. But I've never had a problem with her. She's always been really nice whenever I've seen her.
In New York is opposite. Like you can't see her at all. Like she
Really?
hides everywhere. And the thing is, I known her to be nice. I remember the first time she went to the Letterman show when the Letterman show was around, and she walked in and nobody took her picture. Nobody knew who she was. And the lady
Right.
came up to the pops and photographers and was like, she's gonna be huge. Her name is Adele. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like
everyone say that. Everyone says that on people, don't they?
Exactly. So I was just like, I actually walked away. I was just like, all right. So two people kind of took her picture and stuff like that. But those pictures were iconic after that because she was posing for like 30 minutes over there. She was just throwing her dress up and she was doing her thing. But
I'm just
now
looking for. Okay, so I found a couple pictures, and I found the one of me and her in a nightclub. Do you want to see?
Go ahead, put it up.
I look awful. I'll have to show it on my phone, so I hope you can see it. Can you see?
Hold on, it's coming in. Oh my gosh, she looks like a little kid.
Yeah, and I've got
Oh my God.
I've got a couple.
You know what's an interesting question I just thought of? Like you, Caesar, and it seems like Maddie, you do it too. What makes you know when somebody's a star? Like because there's thousands of new artists all the time. Like what is the standout thing to you guys? Like what makes you say no? All right, Rihanna, 16 years old, I think she's gonna be a star. Like how do you like do that? Like what do you look for?
Go ahead, Maddie. You say for it.
I don't look for anything. I'm a music fan, so I always go out for music artists over film artists.
Oh.
Music's my thing. So I listen to the songs, and for me, I know what's a good song straight away. So yeah, I don't know what stands out. I just have an inkling, and usually I'm right with it.
I'm the same way. I have like I call it the spidey senses. Like I once I listen to the music, that's the same thing with Ariana Grande, right? Once I figured that she sung Mariah Carey's music better than Mariah did at the moment, but sound like Mariah back in the day, I was like, she's a star. Like
that's when I first heard of Ariana. Because
Yeah.
people said to me, they said she's the new Mariah, and I was like, let me listen to this girl, and I was like, she's good.
Yeah.
Here, let me show you this. This is the picture with Rihanna when she was 16.
Oh my God! Wow, wow, Maddie, that's crazy.
That was a long time ago.
What was that? 2004?
Must have been.
Yeah.
How old is she now? It was when her first.
Yeah, because when I met her, she was about 17, and that was 2005.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
So it must be
wow.
2004 then. Yeah.
Man. Oh my God, Maddie. That's way back right there.
Honestly, the stuff I've got, it's ridiculous.
So the way it happened with Rihanna, you heard her song and then you saw that she was gonna come to the UK and you went out to find her?
Basically, yeah. And you know, no one knew who she was, so she didn't have a fan base. She didn't have any paps taking her picture. So she was cool. We had a chat. She was surprised I knew who she was.
So that
Yeah,
was
she
even
was
better
cool.
right there, right?
Yeah. Back then, I mean, you know, I'm just looking through some old pictures like Eminem. He invited me on his tour bus
What?
like years ago.
That's another hard one though. Like
Yeah,
Eminem.
very hard on. Can you see?
Yeah. Oh my God.
But how'd you get cool with Eminem? That seems pretty random, right? Like how'd that one happen? Tell us that story.
So I've become friends with one of his top security guards, who even to this day he always sorts me out with Eminem, like always. Even if Eminem won't stop, he'll say, "Give me your stuff, and I'll get it done for you," and he'll get my stuff, my album signed, you know, and all of that. So yeah, he's cool.
Wow, Maddie. That's oh my God. That's pretty much impossible over here. Like literally, we'll know the hotel and everything when Eminem comes, and there'll be a wall about 5 big. I'm talking about like linebackers, 6'7", 300 pounds, wall, and you see Eminem with his headphones like this, his hat low like this.
Yeah.
Right into the hotel. Yep. Right into the hotel.
Yeah, no, he's cool. He's cool, and he has a lot of security, and he likes being private, doesn't he?
How's Drake?
Never met Drake.
Wow.
And that's through choice. I'm just not bothered by him, to be honest. Yeah. One of my friends is a huge Drake fan and meets him every time he's in London.
Okay.
But I've just never, because I know with him, if I want to meet him, it's going to be 3 a.m. or you know, and I'd like a picture, but I don't care that much.
So because you've been in the game for a while, do you have a picture with Destiny Child?
So I've got a picture with all 3 of the girls, but not together.
No way.
So I've met Beyonce a number of times. My favorite's Kelly, and Kelly's one
She's amazing. Kelly's amazing. Yeah.
So we got a fan question. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
So Kelly is someone I've had some good times with. Kelly. Over the years, she was a judge on the X Factor over here a few years ago. She was one of the judges, and she put me on her guest list. She looked after me, and she always said when Destiny's Child get back, she would sort me out because I told her I wanted a group picture. So she's due in the UK in September. It was meant to be in May, but it obviously what's going on, it got postponed to September. So if she still comes, I will be out for her.
All right.
And you know, I've met. Yeah, she looks after me a lot.
Amazing.
So one of the fans asked, "How about Haley?" I don't know what the last name. I don't know. Do you know who he's talking about?
Who? Haley.
Which Haley?
It's probably Haley Baldwin. That's probably one of the only Haley.
And then Britney Spears. He also asked, "How about Britney?"
Britney's a good one.
Okay, so
Britney.
So Britney is difficult.
Okay.
But I've always been lucky with her.
Nice.
When I go and see her, or when fans go and see her, she'll sign and stop for a couple people, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So every time I've seen her, I've been lucky in being the first or second person that she goes to, or she would never do a selfie on the street. I've got every album signed by her, everything signed by her. She always signs. I actually paid for a meet and greet when she was here 2 years ago at the O2. I paid for a meet and greet because that was the only time I'd get a a picture with her.
Yeah.
And in my head, she's the last of the icons who I need
Yeah.
a
No,
picture
I
with
get
anyway.
it. Let me tell you something. When she first came to New York, when I first dealt with her in New York, it was the most difficult work I ever done. You know,
Yeah.
I'm talking about people used to fly in from everywhere to pap her. Like it was literally easy 50 to 60 paparazzis in cars. We used to
Wow.
lock down. You see when it turns red lights, we used to lock down the
Yeah.
whole street with cars, and it was so crazy. I never seen nothing like it. Britney, I never seen nothing like it. Nothing. Nobody else was like Britney.
You know, I mean, I've been in cars with Paps when we've been following and going through the red lights, you know, and all of that.
Yeah.
But I'd say the most following would maybe be 20.
Okay.
Like it's never been that level that you're saying.
Yeah. It was 20 cars. So it was like each car had like 3-4 paps, you know, and I'm talking think about 50 paps, 60 paps on her. And what made it funny because it was the circus tour, so it was a complete circus, you know. So it was just like, everybody was going nuts, Maddie. You know.
So when the circus tour was over here, Britney was in the park walking her kids, you know, just walking around.
She tried it. She tried it in New York. She tried it, but it's like 15 of them will get like a swift of her like walking out the front because she was staying at the Mandarin Hotel, and she walked out the
same
front.
hotel over here.
Okay, so she walked out the front and she tried to get in one of those these little petty cards, like the guy would be like riding, and she was getting in the back with her 2 sons, and you see like a bunch of paps leaving. And I was like, man, like I told a couple guys leave with the bikes so they could check it out, and they'll see her walk in the park, Central Park, and everybody just in the park surrounding her. It was crazy. It was crazy. She by far was one of the craziest ones.
He met Haley, Eminem's daughter. Him.
Oh no, never? I don't think I have.
Nah.
No,
I don't think so. Then he asked, what about Justin Timberlake? He said he met Justin Timberlake. He was super cool. Do you have any stories with Justin Timberlake?
Of course you got, Maddie.
So Justin has always been one of my favorite male singers, and I used to go out for him all the time, and he would sign. This is back in the day, you know, when he first went solo. So he just left NSYNC, and he thought he was bigger than what he was. So he would be using garages. You know, he would avoid everybody. We'd be at the hotel. He'd come out. He'd sign one, no pictures, get in the car. And it took me years and years, and fans stopped going because they wanted a set picture with him, and he wouldn't do it. So it got to the point, it was just sometimes me, even when he was dating Cameron Diaz, and you know, Cameron would come out and say, oh, he's coming, and he still wouldn't do the picture. And the first time I got a picture, he was recording 4 minutes with Madonna. Do you remember that single?
For sure. That was gonna be the next question, though, Maddie, but go ahead.
So I was at the studio. It's me and my friend. Madonna's driver come out and said, you're in for a long wait. He thought I was waiting for Madonna. And Justin's driver, who's a good friend of mine now, he said, no, he's waiting for Justin. And then Madonna walked out, got in the car. Timberland was there. And I was like, Timberland, hook me up. Like, I just want a picture. You know, I don't, you know. Justin come out, done, and I got my first picture with him. And now when I see him, he's cool now. Like, he's cool now. He has his moments.
Yeah.
He was in London a few weeks ago, and he was awkward, but usually he's cool.
Yeah. So the next one, did you ever try for Madonna?
No, never.
Never, right?
I've seen her a couple times. You know, the studio 4 minutes. There was no paps there. It was literally me and my friend, and she didn't even look at us.
Wow.
I was saying, it's funny, I was talking about you know, she done her gigs here in February, where she done like 15 nights or something at a theatre. So there was no garage or anything. She had to walk in and out. I didn't go, but she never stopped. And, you know, she lives about 10 minutes from me. But
It's
She
same
doesn't
here.
interest me. She doesn't interest me because I know she's so difficult, and
Yeah.
you know, I'd rather not waste my time.
Yeah, her head is like, whoop. She's one of those girls.
Yeah,
She's one of those people in the industry that you just don't even waste your time because it's just not worth it.
yeah. Like, I don't care enough for her.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Another
funny because
question.
when I knew she was doing the London shows, I thought, oh, let me buy an album of her for like cheap, you know,
Yeah.
the $1 shop,
Yeah.
£1 for us,
Yeah.
you know, just so I've got something.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't even waste my time.
Okay.
So
Go ahead,
another
Miguel.
question. Carrie Underwood. Anything with her?
I met her. I met her once years ago. I got a really nice picture with her. She was really nice, but I've only met her once, but she was lovely.
She's the type. She's the type that you just want to meet once and just kind of
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she was cool.
What about
cool.
Taylor Swift?
Okay, so I used to. So I met Taylor when she first come over, and she was doing country music, and she was lovely. She couldn't have been nicer.
Yes, I remember those.
And then, you know, she turned to her pop era because she knew that's where the money was.
Yeah.
And she will only stop if she has to. So if she's in a hotel, forget about it.
Yep.
But if she's doing a radio interview or something, she won't use the garage, and she will stop for people. Let me see if I can find some old school Taylor Swift picture.
I call Taylor camera ready Taylor. She's when that camera's on her, she'll stop.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like that camera, they'll get me over here. Like I got this person. That's it. Camera's off.
Here you go.
Get me out of
Hold
here.
on, let's see. So that's back in the day.
Wow.
Oh no, wrong way.
All right, Bublé. I love Bublé.
Back in the day.
Wow.
This is as she's getting more famous.
Yes.
That was recently.
Yep.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Oh, that's recent.
Wow.
I think that's it.
All right, Maddie.
Yeah.
All right. Maddie, man, we might have to sponsor a book from you, Maddie.
I've been. Do you know what? People have come to me about that before, and blogging and all of that. Yeah.
That archive is serious.
Yeah, and I've got stuff signed as well. Like I've got, you know, and everything I keep.
Yeah.
You know, so I've got.
I bet. That's for another interview, Maddie.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Miguel.
No problem.
Another question, Michael Jordan. I don't know. Have you anything with Michael Jordan?
The basketball player.
Yeah. He ever come around there?
I don't think he's ever been to London.
I love dealing with Michael Jordan because he's so difficult, but it comes down with my charisma. I usually talk to him, and he never talks to like paparazzis or nobody. He's like, his head is like that too, but I catch him off guard. I always catch him off guard. I'll be like, Mike, where you going, Mike? Like I'll throw like little things at him, and then he'll be like, who's asking? And he'll see the camera. He'll be like, man, this dude got me again. You know what I'm saying? Like we have that kind of thing. Like, Mike, don't go in that car, Mike. And then he'll look at me. He'll be like, what are you talking about? And he'll see me, and he'll be like, this dude again? Like, man, you know. So we got that kind of relationship.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever been to London.
Really? I believe that.
I believe
that.
You know, one person I would love to meet is Eddie Murphy.
Wow. He was just here too. He did Saturday Night Live over here.
I saw he was meeting people. I saw.
He met a nice handful of people, you know, and he's a legend. He's a legend, you know, especially, you know.
Yeah. Dr. Dolittle and all of that.
Everything, you know. Go ahead, Miguel.
Another fan question. How about Simo says, and the other questions were from Josh. Josh been with us every day. Keep coming back, Josh. Simo asked, I saw some of your videos with Ariana Grande. Is she cool? I guess any stories from both of you about Ariana Grande?
Go ahead, Maddie. Ariana Grande.
I was gonna say Caesar's probably got decent
Oh my
stories
God.
on her.
Oh God.
I've met her a few times. I mean, she used to be very nice, and she would put everyone in a line at the hotel. I've got Charlie's Angels poses with her, you know, all of this kind of stuff. But since the Manchester bombing, she
Yeah.
will not be. You will not see her on the street.
Wow.
So yeah, no one's met her over here since then.
That makes sense.
Wow. You know, with me, of course, I got her when at the very beginning. She didn't even know about paparazzi. She didn't even know, like, she thought we didn't really even exist. You know what I'm saying? Because no one's ever gotten
I
her.
listened to your podcast about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, me and Ari go a long way. She's like a little sister to me. So, you know, even now when she runs to me, it's like so endearing, you know. And we got that, you know, we got that relationship, you know. But yeah, she's, you know, she for me, she's one of the best for me, you know. So, and you know, I'm biased because I've known her for so long. So
yeah, no, completely.
Yep. Mig, we got any more?
No more so far. Yeah, I guess from just a fan value, it seems like you have a knack for getting around the fans, you know, getting cool with them over time. So if you have to give, celebrity, sorry. Yeah. If you had to give the fans any pointers on if they wanted to do the same, how should they go about it? Maybe that's a good way of ending it. Or if there's more questions, we could ask them.
Yeah, I mean, so when I started, there was no social media, there was no any of this, you know. So everything back in the day, I found out through my own way, or you know. So now, what I'd say, celebrities post things now on social media. You know, they post where they are, and you know, if they're doing promotion, they're gonna say, you know, I'm out promoting the album this week. If they're out promoting, check all the local radio stations because they're probably going to be there. You know, so and if people who haven't met people with, you know, celebs before, just respect them. You know, don't scream in their face, because if you're going to scream in their face, they're not going to stop. You know, just treat them like a human being.
Amen.
Another question came in. BTS, has BTS ever came to London or anywhere? Have you found them?
Yeah. So
have you tried them before, Maddie?
I haven't tried them, but I've been at a hotel they were at waiting for somebody else, and they were there. I don't get the BTS craziness. I've never been out for them, but I have seen them. But obviously they didn't. There was no fans there, but people knew who they were, and they straight in the cars. But yeah, I wouldn't, because I know they're not allowed in their contract. They're not allowed to meet fans. No. So I wouldn't even.
Yeah,
that's so true. That's 100% true.
Yeah, South Korean.
You never see them with a photo with, especially fans in the street. You never, like, you'll see a picture with them with like a host or somebody interviewing them or things like that, but never fans, like fan pictures with the whole group. Never. I never seen it.
Yeah, they're not allowed. It's in their contract.
Wow, that's crazy. Even signing things, they can't sign them.
Why do you think that? What would be a reason to do that?
The culture.
Yeah, it's the culture. Yeah.
All right. So, somebody asked Michael Jackson, but I just told him you have to rewind it. He spoke about Michael Jackson already. That's Josh. Josh is the killing with the good questions. Right now, that's it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was awesome to meet you, Caesar. I don't know what's a good way to wrap it up. Any way for people to find you? Anything you want to plug? Anything like that?
So follow me on Insta. My Insta's on my name, MattyPop39. Download Sam Fender's new album.
Yeah, man.
Trust me.
No. I'm on right there, Maddie. I'm gonna be on him. I'm telling you.
And or if when he's in the US a lot, and go out and see him next time and tell him you know me.
Okay.
You'll,
All right.
you'll get extra points.
Okay. Okay. That's the same. That's the same with Riri. Riri or Ari. Just be like, you're my brother. So they'll be like, all right.
Okay.
They'll understand.
Okay. If I can get near them.
Okay. So in closing, everybody, please just stay safe. This virus thing is taking off to a whole different level now, especially in New York now. I don't know how it is in the UK right now. How is it over there in the UK, Maddie?
So this morning, there's been over 1,000 deaths now.
Wow.
London's pretty much, well, not London, the UK are pretty much on shutdown. All restaurants are closed, all bars are closed, all shops are closed.
Wow.
The government have basically said, do not leave your house unless it's literally for medication or your local shop. They've basically said everyone stay home. So,
Holy
and
Toledo.
we're not when they've said the UK isn't at the peak yet. So they're
Wow.
opening. So you have Madison Square Gardens in New York.
Yes.
They're opening next week. 3 venues, Manchester, Birmingham, and London, which are like concert venues. They're turning into hospitals because they need beds. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
That's
getting
what they're
crazy
doing.
over here.
So in New York, a couple days ago, it was at 900. Now we just surpassed 2,000 dead. You know what I'm saying? So right now
Scary.
it's so scary that like my wife needed to do
yet. It's not the peak yet.
What happened?
And it's not even the peak yet.
I know.
Nope.
And that's what's extremely scary right now. You know what I'm saying? And I just want people to just understand this is not a game, because people took it as a game, and it came and bit a lot of people in the ass, you know. And I just want people to just be safe and just write it out, and we're gonna be better off after this. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, again, Maddie, this is not gonna be the last time we're gonna see you, Maddie. You know what I'm saying? You're part of the fam, Maddie.
I'm sure, and I've any stories people message you, I'm sure.
No.
I've got plenty.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome to meet you, Maddie. So yeah, let's do this in.
Maddie.
Cool. Caesar, any final words?
Yeah, just much love. Thank God we got Maddie's. We supposed to have Maddie on here about a week ago, but finally we got Maddie on here. Yeah, you guys just stay safe and much love and peace out.